how to take knowledge, how to find important knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledge overload out there. How to find the knowledge, the evidence, the knowledge one needs, the data. I say evidence because to me, I use that word deliberately because it includes all kinds of data, statistics, narratives, anecdotes, whatever we have out there. How to take the evidence, how to sift through it, how to find meaningful evidence, how to organize the evidence, and how to take from that evidence what one needs to affect change. And that would mean to convince people, to write something, to make an oral presentation, to do PowerPoints, whatever the situation is. This is a changing world. And so I tell my students, in trying to analyze change and policy change, the first option we always have is the status quo. Maybe the status quo is better than change. And so how to think like that, and then how to communicate that. It might seem strange that in teaching in a PhD nursing program, that is what I focus on. However, if I can't teach them those skills, then they go out there and there's no return on their investment, and there's no return on society or anybody else's investment in their learning. And I tell them policy in one page. I give them, I tell them they cannot post on my course on the online, this was all online, in more than 3 sentences. I only want 3 sentences, because if they can't speak to me in 3 sentences, they'll never be able to communicate to a policymaker or anybody to make a point. And that's a thing in the business world too. We have a big problem with diversity and different populations and different subgroups in our country, in the world. And I don't know how to deal with it, to tell you the truth, except that we all have to learn how to face it and deal with it better than we are right now. We just have to find a balance between when I don't like the word confront, when to put it on the table and deal with it, and when to, I don't like the word avoid, because avoiding is never good. When to deal with it in a more less confrontative way, but never not to deal with it, and because then they get worse. So therefore, a leader who can communicate and say, I made this decision because this is my reason why, here are my reasons, is a lot better than a leader who just does it and doesn't reach down or reach up and communicate. So especially for those of us in middle management, this real horror of having to manage up and manage down and across, but is very important. So the most important is to decide, like basically when to go to the mat and when not. And sometimes you really, as difficult as it is, you have to go to the mat, and as one person said to me, just kill them with kindness. That never fails. Kill them with kindness. You can't be mean, you can't be rude, but you need to be honest. I'm for that. Because otherwise, you can run, but you can't hide from these things. There is in nursing, as in every other field, a wide range of options and ways of personal and professional development. So many lawyers don't practice law. Many economists are not bankers. And so to think about one's personal, professional, social, all the skills that go together, and not for any of us to generalize about ourselves or anybody else.
Wow.